automatic stay. Let's talk about what that is. What the automatic stay is that once you file bankruptcy, what I like to describe the automatic stay is it's like a wall that goes around the person who files. And that wall basically is a protection where creditors cannot do anything to collect a debt. They can't call you. They can't do anything. Basically, you're absolutely protected. It's called the automatic stay. Case in point, which is relevant to you guys. You have a foreclosure sale on a Monday at 9 o'clock. All right? And we file bankruptcy at 8:55, 5 minutes beforehand. Even if that foreclosure happens, which it probably would because the trustee doing the sale doesn't know about it, it doesn't matter. Because you file bankruptcy and you're completely protected. You can't do anything to try to collect a debt or sell your property. So it's a very powerful thing, the automatic stay. Yes?
Okay, what happens to the guy on the courthouse steps that just handed over $1 million for that property?
Yeah, he'll get his money back.
That guy's pissed.
Yeah, he'll get his money back. I have this happens not as much now, but it used to happen a lot. I get a phone call on a Friday. My home's being sold on Monday. I need help. All right, and so we go through the process, and we can actually file 24/7. It's a great thing. So we'll file on a Sunday, all right, or a Monday morning, all right, and the home is sold. And I'll tell the client, listen, you're going to get a notice saying that your home's sold. Don't freak out. We're okay. And he gets notice, and he freaks out. My home's sold. No, it's not sold. And so we have to unwind the foreclosure. Used to happen all the time. And that's exactly what happened. By contrast, foreclosure happens at 9 o'clock. You file at 9:05. Too late. Yeah. I had a client that what happened in his situation, didn't hire an attorney. He had all the bankruptcy documents. Walked up to the filing window and had it stamped, like at 10:15 or something like that. Well, the sale happened at 9 o'clock that same day, so he hired us. Fight it. I said, well, listen, we have some problems because you filed afterwards. Yeah, after the sale, and ultimately it was a problem.
I thought the sale, even though it takes place at one time after, it goes back to the 8 o'clock that day. This time stamp is at 8 o'clock. So
yeah, this is a good question. What he's saying is sometimes if there's a sale at 12 o'clock, is 12 o'clock really the time, or does it actually go back to an earlier time in the day? And that can happen. There's some nuances there, but...
Share?
What's that?
Yeah, share.
No,
There's just opened up a whole can of worms.
No, there's some statutes that talk about... that the timing for purposes of foreclosure, when it starts, and whether it's actually at 12 o'clock or whether it goes back earlier. And those are, I've dealt with that issue one time in a litigation context, and there's statutes that have that can happen, but there's some nuances there. Probably, we can maybe talk about it afterwards.
Actually,
Yeah.
an attorney who's foreclosure attorney discusses this issue. When you buy, because somebody could go on file bankruptcy at 8 o'clock, 8:30 or 9, to prevent that, they put a time stamp at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you have to do it early.
Yeah. You want to do it earlier, exactly. That's good. It's a good point. So, all right, and there's also what I refer to as some of the weaknesses of the automatic stay. Yes?
I have a question. If a client is in short sale, or they want to short sell their house and they file a BK, can they still short sell their house?
Yes, they can. And that's it's one of the questions we'll talk about today. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely reach that. Because that's just reality for you guys. That's a huge question. So, okay, the weaknesses of the stay is that wall we talked about that protects you. It can be broken down. All right, what I mean by that is if you have a lender who lent money for someone to buy a home, and we file bankruptcy, that lender could file a motion to seek relief from the stay. What that means is they're going to lift up that wall and they're going to come after you. So, you need to file a motion, and the court has to bless it and approve it, but ultimately, this automatic stay, which is so wonderful, can be broken down if the right steps are taken. All right? Secondly, yeah.
What about declaration of homestead? Didn't that come into play with DKs?
That's one of the questions we'll talk about today.
Okay.
Yeah, how homesteads work, because there's Jim and I actually had an issue about this recently where Jim Zakar, over to my left.
I'm no expert.
So no, it's interesting because there's two types of homesteads. There's an automatic homestead, and then there's a declared homestead. And Jim, Jim's been an agent, I believe, for about 16 years, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like, Bill, I've never, ever had this situation before. And so we kind of walked through what it was. And ultimately, he had to tell his client that you didn't record what we call a declared homestead before the judgment was placed on your home, which you don't like. And we'll talk about how bankruptcy works. And so it's kind of an interesting time we had. So also with respect to automatic stay, if you file bankruptcy, if you have a lawsuit against you, it basically goes into a holding pattern, because someone can't prosecute or bring an action against you if you filed bankruptcy. However, once again, that wall can be broken because a creditor, if they allege certain types of claims against you, i.e. fraud, they're allowed to go back into the court, if the court allows it, and to pursue legal action against you. So the bottom line is, what you want to remember is the automatic stay is a great thing for real estate agents if they're representing clients, because of what it can do for you. But it is a wall that can be broken down potentially. So.